This segment is brought to you by St. Martin and Bourke. Know your rights.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. Again, your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it very, very much. And we're always so very honored to get updates from those people who are fighting for us. Legislatively, we're so very glad to talk to Senator Mike Fesi. Mike, thanks for joining us here today.
How's everything?
We're doing very good, man. I appreciate it.
All right.
I'm hoping you got better weather in Baton Rouge than we got here, but I know it's pretty rough everywhere.
Well, I think we got a lot of it last night, so y'all grabbing it today, I believe.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Of course, Mike is District 20 State Senator. Senator, tell us a little bit about some of those things that you guys are doing here in session again over at the Capitol.
Well, as far as on insurance, which is the major thing we want to get done, we got a lot of bills coming out the House that everybody's worked together on, and as they coming across, I'm sure we'll do what we can to get them passed and get the governor to get them signed so we can and help our whole state get in a better shape for all these insurance costs between property insurance and car insurance. And just trying to make some changes to get it going the right direction. A few things we did last year are helping already. Getting rid of the 3-year rule, which, some people thought that was a bad thing, but it's starting to lower some rates already with some of the companies. And we have now 11 new companies are willing to write business in Louisiana, which should make the competition a lot better.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where competition just makes things so much better. Like you said, it gives people some options that we didn't have. 11 new companies. I got to tell you, last year, I don't think any of us thought we would have 11 new companies writing policies.
Right. And it's just because of some of the changes we're making. I mean, we, over the years, way back, they had put rules in place that once, all kind of claims started coming in that were having to be litigated and everything else. We got some things that I help stop that. And I know a lot of people got hurt in certain ways with some of the companies going out of business. And that's what we're trying to make sure we can get that right too. We'll do the best we can and making sure we get the right companies that will be very liable for doing a good job.
Yeah, I like it. Any particular bills that you're really excited about, making sure that they get talked about? I know we got a couple of them up there that have been hot topics.
Yeah. Well, a few of my bills, I got 5 of my 6 bills already passed through the Senate, headed to the House. One of them is taking fluoride out of our water, right. Which to me, I think is a very popular thing running across the country. And putting ivermectin across the counter was another one. Right. Creating a state park, Bayou State Park, on that 4,000 plus acres that was donated to the parish. That passed the Senate, heading to the House. Also, is what they call chemtrails. I got a bill that passed the Senate heading to the House. But what we learned is we can't call it chemtrails because the federal government doesn't recognize chemtrails. They don't know what that is. They call it cloud seeding and geoengineering. So we got the right language. We got the right language in my bill to make sure that they know what we're talking about.
Right. Want to make sure that they understand what it is so they know what they're voting on, right?
That's correct. And my 5th bill that I know is going to really help out, I was working with our levee board systems between Lafourche and Terrebonne Parish, and that's a Wetlands Act bill that going off the Sackett case that was decided at the Supreme Court, that it really illustrates what's really wetlands and what's not, and that ought to start saving us some money instead of having to mitigate a bunch of this stuff just because you got a certain plant growing somewhere.
Right. And again, semantics as well, making sure that we understand that the language is correct about what we're identifying as what.
Correct. And so that passed. I got that through the Senate yesterday. I think it was 35-2. So we're in good shape on that, I think, when we get it to the House.
Yeah, boy, it's got to feel really good that those things that you're fighting for, those bills that you're putting forward are going through the Senate and going to the House because they just make sense. It's nice to write bills that make sense.
That's what it's all about, trying to get common sense back in the government.
Yeah. And listen, I know you're working really hard. People are asking all the time. I know we got the bridge down in Golden Meadow. That one's going on 3+ years. The bridge over in Berg going on 4 years now. But you're working with DOTD to try to get information about where things stand and how soon these can open. I think the one in Berg, we're hoping kind of the end of May, right?
Well, that's where I really got upset when we went to press that date. Now they pushing it till June. So actually, I had a meeting with one of the governor's people this morning on the phone and talking to him that, look, we need to make sure that this bridge gets opened up sooner than later, and we don't want no more saying that, oh, well, we don't have this done or don't have that done. The big mistake made on this thing is closing down the old bridge before they had all the parts for the new bridge. They should have rented some warehouse somewhere and ordered all the parts before they even put the old bridge out of service. It just didn't make no sense to wait on parts for months and years at the time when you're building something like this.
Right.
So we'll try to change that game to where they do it the smart way from here on out.
Well, Senator, we appreciate it very much. I know you're up there fighting for us, and I know you got another meeting to get to. We appreciate your time as always. Thanks for what you do and to making sure you represent us well up there.
Okay, thank you for having me.
You got it. All right, guys, that'll do it for this particular segment, but don't go anywhere. A whole lot more right here on Bayou Time.
This segment was brought to you by Trapp Chevrolet. We're always on your side.